as soon as I started playing rugby, it was like game the fuck on. I became, because I was pretty much a goody two-shoes at home. I like snuck around and did stuff in high school and stuff, and then playing field hockey, you had to be like goody two-shoes in a certain way because the team was really good that year. As soon as I found the rugby girls, it was like game the fuck on.
Yeah.
I was that girl that any night of the week, like, fuck, I want to go out tonight, but everyone's studying. Oh, Kate.
Okay, Kate.
Kate will go. Kate will fucking do it.
Yeah.
I got this weird pill. I don't know what it is. Who will try it with me?
Who's my guinea pig?
Yeah, I will.
I think someone poisoned my dinner. Can you take a bite of it first, Kate?
It was like no holds bar. As soon as I let loose, I was just every year they had these like rugby parties where you'd get awards. Every year I won the train wreck award.
Yes.
Because I was just like, and so I started partying super, super hard.
You know what? There really is something like honorable about winning the train wreck award, though, because I feel like you almost like give it to the person who's like, she's a train wreck, but we know that she can kind of handle it. You know
until
what I mean?
the end, I did. Until the train really went off the rails. But yeah, until that last time I got the award was the last time. They couldn't get me back on the tracks anymore.
Totally derailed.
Yeah,
the train is out of commission. Yeah. It's no longer rolling.
But I made it somehow. I made it to my senior year, and at that point, all the seniors, when you were a senior, you lived in the rugby house, and that was where like the guys' rugby team would come in the middle of the night and cover if we were out at the bars. We had this like black and white linoleum floor. They'd like pour canola oil all over it, and we'd all crack our heads open and be like,
classic fun. Classic CTE fun.
They stole like our refrigerator and freezer doors. They upper decked our toilets. They pissed out our pilot light. They shit in our washer. I had this. The house.
I mean, they're animals. They're literal animals.
But I was like, this is the dream, boys. Like, I had this poster on my door that was Triumph the Insult Comic Dog that said,
Classic
this
comedy.
is a nice room for me to poop on. So they would bust in, and I'd be like, somebody shit on my floor again. Like, it was like, and I thought this was like, no, I was like, this is college living. Like,
right.
I fucking loved it. Anyway, my grades now. That was great.
Not so good.
Grades, not so great. By my senior year, I was living in the rugby house, and like 7 a.m. on a Tuesday, if you handed me a 40, I was like, let's fucking go. I had a 1.8, which I think is impressive.
Hey, it's almost 2.
It's almost 2. But I was definitely failing, and I was lying to my family, like, really bad.
I was going to say, so at this point, does your family, do you have siblings?
I have an older brother.
Is anybody in your life being like, do they know what's going on to the extent?
I was really good at like faking the funk.
That's what I mean. You're like the train wreck, but you can kind of put it all together. And
everything's
you need to.
fine. Yeah, it's great. Right. But finally, it became apparent that first semester of my senior year, I was failing every single class. I went into it with a 1.8. I was failing every single class because I was living in the rugby house. And I had just gotten arrested. And we lived it's this big old Victorian across the street from the Pennsylvania County Jail.
Yes.
And we used to play games like who can sit in a wheelie office chair, run over and touch the jail and wheel back. And like I had a cop who was in plain clothes who was like, you rugby girls are crazy. You won't smash that bottle. And I was like,
that's entrapment.
Now,
that's bullshit.
This is my version of events that day.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a little different.
But long story short, I was like, oh yeah? And then
cops.
Maybe I played a little resistance goofing and did a little swinging at the cops goofing. And
did you land any punches?
No, but I had also just called a booty call over. I had just upped like 20 minutes before. And I remember looking up in the flashing lights and seeing the guy I had called standing there and being like, sorry, bro.
Get me tomorrow.
Yeah, see you later. And then all the girls in my team like rooting me on as I went into the jail and like looking at them from my window.
That's hilarious.
They're like, we're making Velveeta for you when you get out. I'm like, thank you. So 1.8. All my professors, I like weaved this sob story. Please let me retake the finals one because I missed them all.
Because of this arrest?
I was at this point, I was just like, I was also, I'll say it, I was doing a little nose candy goofing pretty heavily at this point. Mama liked her nose beers.
So you're just fucking a tornado right now.
Yes.
You are, it's coke, it's partying, it's arrests, it's rugby, it's shit on your floor, it's no classes, no finals, no nothing. You're just a hurricane.
And at this point too, like I was awful. Like, I would be up at 5 a.m, whatever poor freshman was sitting there, and I'm like telling them how great I am because I'm all coked up. I'm like, so anyways, blah, blah, you should see me in this rugby game, blah, blah. And like, the ghost of me was like, you're an asshole, dude. Like, you suck.
Yeah.
So I really also, like, as much fun as I was having, I like hated myself so bad. I could see I was an enormous douchebag asshole. Wasn't being like so great to my friends. I was lying to my family. I was failing all my classes. I got a second chance to retake some of my finals to maybe save my thing and just didn't show up. I went to the bar instead.
Oof.
And that's when I had to tell my family, like, don't think you're going to be welcome back for this last semester. I really fucked up.
So this is like second semester senior year?
This is right before Christmas, going home for Christmas break before the final semester.
Oof.
And I had to be like,
yikes.
I had to rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
And when I did, it just, because I was also like, I joke about how much fun I was having, like, partying and doing all the drugs and stuff like that. But I was.
You're running out of gas.
There's a crash that comes with that too. And like, it was horrendous. And so
like you tell the truth to them and you're almost telling the truth to yourself and you're just like, fuck.
Oh my God. When it all came out and I told them everything, like everything. And
isn't there something like amazing about that though? When you like finally get shit off your chest, as bad as it is, where it's just like,
yes,
I don't know where it's gonna go from there.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was the wrong thing to tell everybody, but like it's just off me now.
We didn't need to know about those dudes you banged.
Yeah.
But
we didn't need to know about the shit on the floor, but okay, thanks for being honest, Kate.
Yeah. And so my parents like had to come. It's like that walk of shame, like when your parents have to come and pack all your shit up and like your friends there and they know you're not coming back for that final semester or whatever.
Like,
and
nice
my parents were so disappointed in me. And I have like amazing parents who, but like I could tell, like my dad had like tears. He was so disappointed in me. When you make your dad cry, like that's
forget it.
A horrible feeling.
Yeah.
And so I had started thinking, I was like, how do I redeem myself? How do I like, what on earth could you possibly do to fix this?
Polar opposite.
And so I liked it, and I was like, I need my ass kicked. Like, I suck right now. I'm a shitty person. I'm selfish. I'm awful. Like, what's the biggest kick in the ass I could possibly do?
I mean, that's like that's very admirable, and like I get it, but also it's like, well, we could have maybe gone a little. Well, there's maybe an in between. Maybe
could have gone to community college and lived at home for a couple years.
Talk to a therapist or something before you send yourself to fucking military.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And this was like the second height of the war, kind of after the initial invasion.
Yeah.
This was in the late 2000s, where like they were
it's not
really
like you're signing
kicking
up
it
in
up.
like peacetime. It's like you were willing to go do the whole show, huh?
But this was also the time when like everybody was drinking the troops Kool-Aid, and this sick little part of me was like, I know what'll make everyone love me again. like you can't hate a troop. You got to be a troop now. It was like, so people are like, why'd you do
I mean. Yeah. There's some truth to that, where it's like what you're looking for is like some validation or like to right wrongs or to change the reputation. It's like, hey, I might have done all that, but troop.
Check
I'm
this out.
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, why'd you join the military? And I feel like a lot of times they give the canned. And like, yes, like 9/11 was a huge part of it. I remember sitting there that day being like, I want to fucking do something. But I didn't know anyone in the military. I went a different path. And I was an asshole. And then, but the real answer is, why'd you join the military? Cocaine. So, really loved it. But so I went into the recruiter's office, and they put these little placards down. Are you looking for adventure? Are you looking for this or that? And I was like, no, you don't need to. Just one ticket to military, please. Please just sign me up.
Give me the paperwork, man. Like, I don't need the whole spiel.
And I went Marines because I knew it was the hardest from what I had heard.
It sounds like fucking Arrested Development. Like, I'm going to go play Army, mother.
And that's truly, I tried to show up at boot camp with like a belly button ring in still. I had like a Celtic, I had like no idea
what you were getting into,
And the recruiter was like, what an idiot. Yeah, sign here.
Right.
Of course. But there also was the genuine, like a joke about, wanting people to love me again and blah, blah. But there was the most genuine in my life ever, like, I'm going to make an effort to change. I hate who I am.
Yeah,
and I really want to make an effort to change. And so I did go into it with like really genuine heart and wanting to do good kind of thing. So yeah, that's how sorry, that was a long ramble.
No, I love it. I mean, that's amazing. I feel like there's like, I think most people probably in the world have like a rock bottom moment, and like, do they do what it takes to change? And like you were kind of like burn the boats in a way. Like there's no like failure to change when you sign up for the military.
Yeah. And I think I knew if I didn't go away, I would find the same people in my hometown who were doing like, I knew I wouldn't change unless I like really
radically change
had
everything.
To be drastic. Yeah.
Can't like trust yourself to like stick to it unless.
No, I'm not that kind of person.
No, I know it's scary when you have to like admit to yourself about certain things. Like I can't trust my own self to do this or do that. It's like, oh shit, I need
huge change.
Yeah. So then you're enlisted.
Yeah, we're enlisted.
Like, how quickly do you think you made that change to like who you are today? Like, was that quick? Was that?
It was pretty, as corny as it sounds, because like boot camp's hard, but it's not that hard. I don't know if you've met people who are in the military and you're like, that guy is on the military.
Right, he made it through basic training.
Yeah, like you can do it if you're thinking. But it was the first time again. Like,
sorry, what year is this?
This was in 2008. So March of 2008 is when I went into boot camp.
Okay.
And I was 21 at this point. I was 21 years old. Headed off, shipped off. I remember standing on the yellow footprints and them screaming. And I actually missed my connecting flight to boot camp because I was eating riblets at Applebee's. I was like, final
if I had
meal.
to write a Kate joke, if I had to like write a roast of Kate, I'd be like, she probably missed enlistment because she was eating riblets at Applebee's, and she fucking did it.
I fucked up. They had to it was this whole debacle. They had to give me another flight. And then, so normally you show up on this bus and you all come running out. It was like me alone in a van in the middle of the night, having to go stand up.
And where is this?
Because of riblets. Paris Island, South Carolina.
Okay.
So, as you know, they swarm you, blah, blah, but I went into it with such a genuine heart that like you're going to drink the Kool-Aid. Even if you think it's corny, you're going to put your whole heart into it. And I'd never done that before. I'm always the kind of person in the crowd when the person's like, I can't hear you. And I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to play. Like, but I was like, I'm going to, I was like, I'm going to drink, like at the back of church camp and everyone's crying. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Come on.
Yeah.
But this time I was like, I'm going all in. So the day that I graduated boot camp and I had been chugging natties and all this shit. So I went in at like almost my pregnancy weight now, and my face was huge, blah, blah. I went down to a size 0 by the time I left. I went in at like a size 9.
Hot now, bitch.
I lost a ton of weight. I got in I was always athletic, but like I was svelte and like I felt good for the first time in my life. I felt like I had changed. The day I graduated boot camp, as corny as it sounds, I never stood taller in my life. Like I couldn't wait for my parents to see me. I felt like. So it was almost, and I went to confession.
Well, then
and
you're
the
all
final,
good.
And I told the priest everything. I was like, I was and then this and that and this. So I felt like at the time.
The priest walks out like, I need a break. Hang on, kids.
He lights a cigarette. He's like, Jesus Christ. We both had to.
You'd be Catholic Church material. Have you ever thought about joining the clergy?
Yeah. But I truly felt like I was like starting a new, whole new life. I felt like a new person. It was incredible. And I really tried to stick with it after that. Like, so from there you go to your MOS school, your job school, and then you go out to the fleet and you start your Marine Corps career. And that's how that went.
To keep up with the latest and best content from the Kevin Clancy Show, as well as the simplest and most entertaining breakdowns of what's going on the internet today, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. I know you've heard that a million times, but just do it. It makes my life so much easier. Just click the button, hit the icon, and let me go on my way.